It looks like we are live at the moment. We are live, that's good. So in this one, what we're going to do is continue with the mindset coding course. And we're going to go over mindset, which is, I think, a very, very, very important lesson, I think. And it sort of really helps you move forward with whatever problem you're solving. So like, if you have a protracted problem or something you don't know how to solve, a very difficult task, and you're just not going anywhere. This tool I'm going to go through is something you can just deploy straight away. Just deploy it straight away and really start making progress on whatever projects you want to make. So for those on TikTok, go to the YouTube. There's going to be a YouTube live, and accompanying that is the slides. So what I'm doing actually right now is I'm sharing the slides accompanying this presentation. So hopefully you guys learn something. So let's get started with it right away. Let's go. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Okay, lovely. Okay, let's get started. So what we're going to be doing is mindset, as you can see on the slides right here. And now there's a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. So this was one of the first books they recommended when I was being a trader, when I was gonna become a trader, click trader, right? They said, read this mindset book. So I'm just gonna flash the mindset book. You know, this is like all the Google shopping stuff here. So this is what the book looks like. It's great. It's a great read. I highly recommend you go ahead, purchase it, read it. It's great stuff. Just get on it. And what we're going to do is just summarize the book and then talk about how we can use some of the concepts in that book and relate it to the ideas of coding, technical type stuff like mathematics, accounting, chemistry, biology, physics, all that cool stuff. Okay, so let's get on it. Let's get to it. So first slide. There's two types of mindsets. There's the fixed mindset, right? And then there's the growth mindset. So what is the fixed mindset? It's the assumption that intelligence is static. So no matter what you do in life, you are given some intelligence by the universe or God, if you believe, or whatever, you know, you're always given some fixed intelligence, and that is you for the rest of your life. That's it. You can't do anything no matter how hard you try. That is how smart you are. Then the growth mindset is that you believe intelligence can be developed. And that's the difference. That's the difference. So maybe you're not quite intelligent in your early years, but you believe that you can, you know, get smarter. And that is what the growth mindset is. And so the whole point of this book is to take you from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, right? You want to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And what that'll lead to is, because you're in the growth mindset, you'll actually become more intelligent. And that is the same thing with coding, for example. So for example, if you believe you're quite a shit coder, if you're shit at coding and you think that, all you need to do is believe that you can become a better coder, and then you will become a better coder, essentially. That's the whole idea of the mindset book. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that while that's going on? Anyone at all? Give me some questions before I move on to the next slide. Oh, I appreciate the like as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Next slide it is. Let's go. So, we're going to talk about the fixed mindset for a little bit. Now, if you're on TikTok and you're watching this, go to the YouTube, which is in my description, and you'll find the slides and you can follow along. Here, let me just. So I'm just showing you the slides there for those TikTok users. But anyway, let's go over the fixed mindset. So, the fixed mindset. What are some points that define someone with a fixed mindset? They say, okay, talent alone creates my success, right? It's just depending on how talented you are, means how successful you'll be. Effort is for those who lack ability, right? So what it means is, like, if you just don't have the ability, you might as well not try because you don't have the ability, right? And then another one is failure defines you, which is, it's like true. People People think that about themselves, but it's so bad. It's just not based in reality. And then the next one is feedback feels like criticism. Feedback feels like criticism. So you sort of take things personally and you don't see where the gems are in the feedback. All you see is the criticism. And then the last point of the fixed mindset is others' success is threatening, which is not a good thing. You want to make things win-win, not win-lose. Or even some people go for win-lose. Like if I'm going to lose, you're going to lose, which is not the best thing. Not the best thing. Okay, so next, let's go over some of the properties of the growth mindset. So the growth mindset, so an individual with a growth mindset is that effort will lead to mastery. Effort will lead to mastery, which, okay, cool. Challenges are opportunities. Failure is a learning experience. I like that one the most. Failure, so every time you fail, you look at what you did wrong and then you just isolate that, fix that, and then that is where the learning comes from, right? It's where the learning comes from. Feedback helps you improve as opposed to the fixed mindset where you take feedback as direct criticism. And then the growth mindset is that others' success is inspiring as opposed to it being threatening in the fixed mindset. Cool. So let's move on to this. So the power of yet. I love it. I love this keyword. So remember, everything I say here can be used in the technical field, the coding or whatever, you know. So the power of yet. Imagine you have a problem and you really are trying hard to solve it, but it's so hard, and then you end up saying stuff like, I can't do this. That's horrible. So what you need to do is say you can't do this, right? You can't actually do it because it's beyond you a little bit. But what you're better off saying is like, I can't do this yet. So it gives you hope. It gives you something to strive for. Yeah, you can't do this yet. So if there's something in life and it's like, I can't do this, that's seems impossible yet, or for now, or you know, those words that are like in the future, it can be happening. You want to make it so that even though in the present you can't do something right now, you use the word yet or for now or something like that, and you flip it on its head and you make it positive, and then you put yourself in the mindset that it's gonna happen. It's absolutely going to happen. Okay, cool. Now, does anyone have any questions about what is happening here, or anything you want to ask about in the slides or anything like that at all? Put it in the comments. I'll leave like 10 seconds. Let me know. I'd love to know. Otherwise, I will move on to the next thing. Now, if you're on TikTok, I'm also streaming this on YouTube, and that's where I can I have the slides accompanying my face. So the slides are being streamed along with how I'm talking, and you can get all the slides. Now, if you want, if this is going to be part of a bigger mindset course, right? A bigger mindset course, and so you go to school, which is in my description, and you can go there and sign up, and it'll be all good. Okay, let's move on to the next thing here. So how do these individuals respond to challenges, right? So the fixed mindset individual would avoid the challenges or give up quite easily, right? And then the growth mindset individual would embrace the challenges and persist through obstacles. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, right? Just fixed and growth. Okay, next slide. Let's go. Let's keep going. So how do they view the effort? So for a fixed mindset individual, it means you're not smart enough. And so why even put in the effort if you're not smart enough? Why even do it? But for the growth mindset individual, you'd say that effort is the path to mastery. It's like the juice you need to put in the system. You need to give it some effort, and then you'll get what you want. And the fixed mindset person is like, oh, there's nothing I can do. It's done. I can't do anything. So therefore, I am not going to put in any effort at all in this. Okay, so I always keep those that near and dear to my heart. Okay, cool. Next slide. Let's go. Okay, how do they handle setbacks? Oh, Bryce says hello to you. Nice to meet you, man. So, how do they handle setbacks? Okay, so okay, try guess what the fixed mindset individual does. Anyone in the chat? Let me know. I'll give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is how the fixed mindset individuals handle setbacks. So they say setbacks are evidence or proof that you are not good enough. That's horrible, isn't it? That's horrible. You get a setback and then you say, that's evidence I can't do this. That's terrible. Because then you'll never end up winning or doing whatever you want. But the growth mindset individual says setbacks are data for improvement. They use that as a single data point to improve. So they look at the setback data point, they analyze it to death, and they say, okay, these are things I could have improved here. They're always looking at things where they failed. It's like no failure goes wasted. No failure is wasted. They always look at what they need to do, and then they just leech on that, and then next time they will remember those losses and not do that again. As opposed to the fixed mindset individual, they will just be like, okay, it's proof that I'm not good enough. Oh, sorry, Bryce, I missed your messages. He said, please, ? Well, I appreciate the chat. Thank you very much. Okay, next, let's go to the next slide. So, how do we receive criticism? How do they receive criticism? The fixed mindset individuals receive criticism as personal attacks. They feel like someone is attacking them. My gosh, it's terrible. Because if someone is giving you criticism, right now, maybe someone is just trying to like tell you you're terrible and whatever, and just like hit you and get you where it really hurts. You know, that's okay. At least it's still feedback. Now, the fixed individual would be like, okay, this is just attacking. It's terrible. It's like I'm being attacked. I feel horrible. This is like, take it personally, all that. They can't see where can I improve, right? Where's a possible place that I can improve? The growth mindset individual will get feedback, and it may even be criticism, but they will, with a fine-tooth comb, just go into the feedback and be like, okay, where could I have improved? Where, like, no matter how bad the feedback is, no matter how bad the criticism was, or whatever happened, right? They'll be like, okay, how can I improve? How can I improve? They will find something within the criticism. They'll be like, there must be something I can improve. Even though it's worded so badly, there's definitely something I can improve. Okay. So let's go on to the next slide. The brain. I want to talk about the brain. So the brain, I want you to think about the brain as a muscle, right? The brain as a muscle. So it can grow stronger. And obviously the fixed mindset individual will be like, oh no, the brain, you've got fixed intelligence, can't grow. But the growth mindset individual is going to be like, oh no, I actually can get more intelligent. So that is something you got to remember. It's like the intelligence you have is never fixed. It's never, ever fixed. So just whatever you're doing, just keep going. Don't stop. You know, just don't stop. Just keep going. And then we're going to talk about something called neuroplasticity. It's just how flexible and moldy your brain is, right? So every time you learn something, neural pathways strengthen. So whatever you practice, the neural pathways, the physiology in your brain strengthens. Now, I'm not a neuropsychologist, biologist, or whatever, but I'm going to tell you the general gist of things, how it just generally works, what you generally need to know. So the more you practice something, the more you want to think about the brain pathways, right, as roads. Now, initially, they're like dirt roads. They're dirt roads, whatever skill. Maybe you're trying to learn coding for the first time, and now there's like this dirt pathway in your brain, right, telling you how to code. And so it's initially a dirt road, but the more you practice, the more you type, the more you like solve coding challenges, big problems and stuff like that, what happens is your body, so maybe the council, the government, converts the dirt road into maybe like, I don't know, a gravel road, or like a tar road, you know, an actual road, and then it reinforces the road, puts like things up. And why did that happen? It's because more people end up using that road. More people end up using the road, and so the people in the council, the town, are like, yo, we need to make the road better. So this is the exact same here. So the more you do something, the better the neural pathways and connections will strengthen in your brain. So you just need to keep going and keep making small incremental improvements, and then you'll just over time get better at. Thanks for that, man. I appreciate the comment. You'll just get better at that. Okay, now I'm gonna have some coffee, and does anyone have any questions about anything at all I've covered before I move on to the next slide? Let me know. That coffee is good. That coffee's good. Anyone? Otherwise, I'll give it 10 seconds for any questions at all, and then I will move on to the next slide. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, next slide it is. Next slide it is. So for coders, this is what we are. Coders. This channel is called Coder Trader, and I am addressing the coding people. You know, the coding people. Oh, cool. The locked edit said, "Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate your comment." So for coding people, yeah. So the fixed mindset person would be like, okay, I'm not. Or you could be doing math, you could be in accounting or whatever. So the fixed mindset person is going to be like, okay, cool. I'm not a math person. I'm good at like something else. Or like you have defined sets of skills where your like expertise is. That's what the fixed mindset person says. But the growth mindset individual is like, okay, I haven't mastered this concept yet, but with practice, I can absolutely master it. I can absolutely master it. And that's it. That's it. That's all I want to say there. That's all I want to say there about that. So it's just a reframing. It's like, remember in the previous slides we said make use of the word yet. You haven't mastered something yet, and that leaves the possibility of you being able to master it in the future. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next slide. So praise matters. So for example, if you're trying to train someone, if you're in the teaching profession, right? How you praise someone is very, very important. So if you want to teach someone coding, you say, okay, you don't encourage the fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset teacher would be like, you're so smart. That is bad. You don't say that because it encourages the fixed mindset. What you do, you want to encourage the growth mindset. So you say, you worked really hard on that. That is the growth-minded praise. That's the growth-minded praise. Okay, does anyone have any questions on that? Because we just switched from you as the student to then you being the teacher. Does that make sense for everyone? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. But I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay. We're going to talk about the learning zone. So 3 zones. There's the comfort zone, which is no growth. So maybe some of you are in the comfort zone at the moment and you're just not growing at all. Then there's the learning zone. So you always want to be in this learning zone, right? You always want to be in the learning zone. And then there's the panic zone where you just over bombard yourself with way too much stuff. And then you sort of like, you wanted to do the learning zone, but you just got, your mind just exploded because you have like way too many things going on at the moment. So there's the comfort zone, the learning zone, and the panic zone. And they're like on a spectrum, right? And what we're going to, I'm going to leave it at that actually. In the next ones, I'm going to talk about more of this, more of this, more of this. It's about having that sweet spot of not like freaking yourself out, but also not being in the comfort zone and not learning anything at all. So I think just keep that in mind whenever you learn something. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to summarize this. It's coming to the end. Some of the key takeaways. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave this to the audience. Does anyone want to write down in a dot point or something in the chat, in the comments or whatever, any of the takeaways? I'm going to give it 10, 9, 8, 7. I'll get some coffee. 4, any 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to go through these key takeaways. So the key takeaways from this presentation was that abilities can be developed through dedication, which is the growth mindset. Embrace challenges and failures, right? Embrace them. You fail at something and find where the learning is. So effort is the path to mastery. So remember, the fixed mindset individual says, why even bother putting effort if I don't have the abilities? But the growth mindset individual was like, effort is my fuel. Effort is the fuel to get what I want. And then the growth mindset person, imagine someone criticizes you, right? The fixed mindset individual would be like, oh, they would take it to heart and they wouldn't be able to see what gems or what ideas are in the criticism that would help them for success in the future. But the growth mindset individual would be like, oh, no matter how bad the criticism is, I can find something in here that will help me achieve what I want to achieve. And the final point here is inspiration. Inspiration comes from other people's successes. So like you see someone succeed at someone and you're not jealous or you're not threatened by it. You're actually inspired. That is the growth mindset individual. So I think those are the summary points. Oh, action steps. Okay. So what I said at the start of the course was you need to get your little book out. Your little notepad. And so this is lesson 1.2. And write down this. So this is the exercise. So notice when you're in the fixed mindset and then what triggers the fixed mindset. Even put in the comments right now what triggers the fixed mindset. And then when you're in the fixed mindset, try to replace the fixed mindset thoughts that like those triggers with growth mindset thoughts. So you're going to have to play the translation game. And then celebrate effort. So when you do something, right? What you should do instead of celebrating results, it's better to celebrate effort. Although you do want the result, you do need to be result focused at times, but to keep you motivated, to make sure you keep going and going, you do also need to celebrate the effort. So if you have a deep work session for 3 hours and you just need to celebrate the fact you sat down for 3 hours and you managed to pay attention. So celebrate the effort, and always view mistakes as learning opportunities. Okay, cool. And then we have a little quote from the author of this mindset book, Carol Dweck. So, becoming is better than being. So if you know what that means, give me a thumbs up or something like that. So you want to become something, and that's better than actually just being. Like you will, in becoming, in the striving to become, you will be. That's what I get from that. Anyway, nice. And last slide. Okay, here's another little exercise. You can write in your little notebook there. So what's one area where you have a fixed mindset? Write that down. Put that down. And then how can you do some jujitsu and reframe it into a growth mindset. A growth mindset. Okay, cool. So that is the end of the presentation. I am going to end it there. I'm going to end it there. So this is actually part of a mindset course. I'm going to host it on Skool. It's so look in my description. It's the Skool is called Coder-Trader. So go to that and you'll get the rest of the course. And honestly, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I'll stay here live for a little bit. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise,